Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Barry and this is Centralize. And today we are scenting each of the James Bond characters. So I was tagged by Smelly Sweed. If you haven't checked his channel out, he's got a great channel. Up and coming, really good start. Got some great stuff on his channel, really enjoy it. I was also tagged in a different tag by the Fragrance Wardrobe, and he was to list my classy fragrances. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the two tags together. I just think it'll be easier, and I'll get my three tags out the way first. I want to tag Nick and Anthony over at Talk and Review. I know I tagged you recently, but I thought because this involves film as well as fragrance, it'd be an ideal thing for you guys to do. I wanted to tag Matt over at Questioning Scents. He has got a great channel and he has got some really classy fragrances, so I'm sure he could find ones to match each of the James Bonds. And then lastly, I wanted to tag Chris, who's brand new on the scene, the Scented Swordsman. He's got one video out so far, and I know he likes to do a scent story at the same time, so I think this would be an ideal sort of tag for him to do. So I know that the Scent Geeks, which if you haven't heard, is a podcast with Fragmental, Chris, and Frags to Riches, Steve. It's a wonderful podcast every Sunday night. Go and check it out. And on one of the episodes they did a James Bond theme for the whole of the episode, and I thought it was brilliant. So what I'll do these James Bonds in reverse order. So the latest one first, because I want to finish with the great Sean Connery. So the first one is Daniel Craig. Now Daniel Craig has been in films like Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectra, and he's got one coming out. It should have been this year, but due to COVID it'll be next year now, No Time to Die. Now Spectra is one which I really enjoy. I really enjoyed the Day of the Dead at the beginning of it, and that's the reason why I've picked this fragrance. And it is by Givenchy and it's Xeryus Rouge. This is classy, but it's also got cactus in it and it's got chili peppers in it. I'll read the notes out for you. So in the top you got cactus, Chinese orange and tarragon. In the mid you got pimento, geranium and cedar. And in the base you've got sandalwood, cedar and white musk. And I think this is the sort of thing that Daniel Craig as James Bond would wear no problem, and he would stand out from the crowd. I really enjoy this, and it's not the sort of fragrance that you smell every day. There's not many fragrances out there that have got cactus in there, and with the chili as well. And then it's got a bit of a Fougere feel to it as well. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that is my Daniel Craig pick, and it's Givenchy Xeryus Rouge. So the previous James Bond Daniel Craig was of course Pierce Brosnan. What I'll try and do, I'll try and put some posters up of each of these as I go through them. And he featured in GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough and Die Another Day. Now I can remember watching these. I don't think I ever went to the cinema for any of these, but I seem to remember playing GoldenEye on the Xbox at some point. That's my memory of it, so I know probably more about the film from the game than what I do from actually watching the film. And the one I picked for him is Gravitas pour Homme. What a beautiful bottle. So this is an old school Fougere with a modern feel to it. So in the top you've got lavender, orange and bergamot. In the mid you've got cardamom, coriander and pepper. and in the base you've got patchouli, vanilla, oak moss and ambergris. And if you haven't tried this, you need to try it. It's a classy frag. And Pierce Brosnan is a classy man, even though he let himself down a bit in Mrs. Doubtfire. Not the sort of character you associate with Pierce Brosnan, but oh well, you can't win them all, can you? So Pierce Brosnan, my pick for him is Gravitas pour Homme. So the next Bond before Pierce Brosnan, and this was Timothy Dalton. Now he only did 2 films, The Living Daylights and License to a Kill, and I have picked for him Lalique pour Homme. So in the top you've got lavender, rosemary, grapefruit, bergamot, pomelo, orange, tangerine. In the mid you've got cedar, iris, lily of the valley, jasmine, and in the base you've got sandalwood, oak moss, vanilla, patchouli and amber. And I've picked this one because it's an old school Fougere style, but once again it's pretty modernised and I really enjoy the smell on that. And I think it's another classy fragrance which suits Timothy Dalton. So the Bond before that was Roger Moore. Now this guy is a distinguished English gentleman. This is what I class as my Bond, because this was the time when I was growing up watching these films. You've got Live and Let Die, The Man with the Golden Gun, The Spy Who Loved Me, Moonraker, For Your Eyes Only, Octopussy, A View to a Kill. I always remember A View to a Kill came out just after I'd left school and I was working on a farm, and then went to the pictures to watch it with some of the locals, and the Duran Duran song A View to a Kill, and so you got the Paris when I was at the Eiffel Tower and that. So I thought for this one, another classy frag that I've recently picked up, and it's Pasha de Cartier Parfum. So I've picked this one up because of the French connection, and this has got notes of sandalwood, balsam fir, liquor, tonka bean, ambrosanide, benzoin, labdanum and patchouli. So my pick for Roger Moore is Pasha de Cartier Parfum. So I know that Sean Connery did a lot of to-ing and fro-ing, where he started as Bond and then he came back as Bond after a few others had done it. But I'm going back in order, so because Sean Connery was the very first, I'm going to leave that to last. So the next one before Roger Moore was Roger Lazenby, an Australian actor, and he did one film, and that was on Her Majesty's Secret Service. And I've picked for this one, the reason I've picked this one is because they've recently launched their product in Australia, and one of the main ingredients that's in the product is sandalwood sourced from Australia, and it is Zaharoff Signature Pour On. Now this would suit him absolutely brilliantly, another brilliantly classy frag. So I'll read the notes to you. In the top you've got cardamom, lavender, black pepper, pear, blue cypress. In the mid you got ginger roots, cedar, oud, iris, pimento and fire balsam. And in the base you've got sandalwood, patchouli, amber, myrrh and frankincense. So my pick for George Lazenby is Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. So the second Bond to come out was David Niven, and he only did one Bond film, and that was Casino Royale. Obviously we know that Daniel Craig did a remake of that Casino Royale, and this fragrance here is the sort you would definitely get away with wearing in a casino, and it is Eau Sauvage Parfum by Dior. So in the top you got bergamot, you got citron, Petitgrain. In the mid you've got Vetiver, Lavender, Hedion, and in the base you've got Myrrh, Patchouli and Oak Moss. And you need a strong character to wear this. It's not the sort that I would happily tell anyone to just go and buy blindly. It's the sort of thing you need to smell. It's a strong Fougere style, but it's not modernised very much, so it can be a bit in your face. But David Niven, for me, I'll always remember him from The Guns and the Navarone, which was an amazing war film. Loved it. So I haven't actually watched this Casino Royale. I must try and find it out, see if I can find some of the old Bond films. But that's my choice for David Niven, Eau Sauvage Parfum. So the very first Bond, and it's with great sadness to say that he's recently passed and left us. I'm sure he'll be held in high regard up there. Rest in peace, Sean. He was an amazing actor, not just through his Bonds. He could put his hand to anything. He had some great films, really enjoyed some of his films. And his Bond films that he starred in, Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, Diamonds Are Forever, and then Never Say Never Again. So he did a couple of Bonds, then somebody else took over, came back, did some more. So he was the very first, but he came back and did more. So he did it in a couple of spells. And the fragrance that I've picked for Sean, what better than Houbigant Fougere Royale for a royal guy. And in the top with this you've got lavender, you've got green notes, chamomile and bergamot. In the mid you've got geranium, carnation, cinnamon, rose and lilac. And in the base you've got oak moss, clary sage, patchouli, tonka bean and amber. And I can't think of a better fragrance for Sean than this one. This is class in a bottle. It's one of these understated frags. It's not gonna like blow everybody away with the projection. It does a great job, don't get me wrong, but it's the sort that just keeps you coming back for more. It's an absolutely beautiful smell and very classy, and it suits Sean Connery down to the ground. So I hope you liked my take on those James Bond characters and what fragrance suits each of those. I think each one of them was good in their own right, and have all played the part in a massive series of Bond movies. And it's something that, even though I wasn't into that much, every year I try and watch the Bond film. It's become a bit of a national tradition now. So that's it from me. Leave me a comment below what you would have picked for each of those Bond actors and why. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all soon. Stay fragrant, not vagrant.